Gemara Masechet Brachot, Chet Amud Aleph, 8a tells us that a person should always finish the parashiot, should read the parashat together with the tzibur, together with the congregation. And he should read it 2 times the Hebrew and 1 time the translation into Aramaic called Unkelus. The Gemara says, for whoever does such a thing, he will be promised that he will have long days and long years. It's a sgulaf to live a long life. Whoever does the beautiful mitzvah derabanan of Shnai Mikra HaTargum. Therefore, a person has to try to do this beautiful mitzvah after reading the 2 times Hebrew and 1 time Aramaic. Many of the Achronim, the Rishonim, give reasons to why the rabbis made such a mitzvah. The Levush says the reason is in order that we should be experts in the Torah. We should be very familiar with the 5 books of Moses, so therefore the rabbis instituted that we should read the parashiot every week with the tzibur, whatever parashat they're reading. So this week would be Parashat Pinehas. So then the Chinuch writes, is that in order that we should be familiar with the mitzvot, we should be able to read about the mitzvot and therefore have desire and know how to fulfill them. So therefore he says that's why we have to do Shnai Mikra HaTargum. Interestingly, Rabbi Hananel writes, the reason why we have to read Shnai Mikra HaTargum is that we should have to, because we're going to see it as halakha, you have to read it with the ta'amim. You have to read it with the cantillation marks. And therefore, when you read the Shnai Mikra HaTargum with the cantillation marks, with ta'amim, you'll know how to read the Torah when they call you up for aliyah. If a person will get called up for aliyah on Shabbat, if he did Shnai Mikra HaTargum and he did it with ta'amim, he'll know it more or less, he'll be prepared in order to be able to read it for the Torah himself. Because originally the mitzvah is to read the Torah. When you get the aliyah, you should read the Torah yourself. You shouldn't rely on the Baal Koreh. Originally everyone used to read themselves. So therefore they said that you have to read Shnai Mikra HaTargum, so you should be able to read the Torah if you ever get an aliyah. Anyways, Shulchan Aruch writes an interesting halakha in Siman Resh Pei Hei Siv Giman, where a person, when does he start Shnai Mikra HaTargum? The earliest you can start is once it is that week of that parasha. So once it becomes the next parasha, which was the earliest, when we start reading the next parasha, already Saturday afternoon we read the next parasha. So technically from then, a person can start preparing Shnai Mikra HaTargum for the next week. What is the latest a person can finish Shnai Mikra HaTargum? According to Shulchan Aruch, in Siman Resh Pei Siv Gimal, a person has to finish Shnai Mikra HaTargum by Mincha Gdolah. By Mincha Gdolah of Saturday early afternoon, a person has to finish, that is the latest he should finish Shnai Mikra HaTargum. Once, according to Shulchan Aruch, once you pass this time, you cannot make up, you miss the mitzvah of Shnai Mikra HaTargum. There are opinions. There are other Rishonim who say, no, you have until Tuesday. Some other Rishonim say, even you have until Shmini Atzeret, you have until Simchat Torah to finish all the parashiot that you missed. But the preferable way to do Shnai Mikra is like the Arizal used to do. The Mekubalim used to do is they used to sit Friday morning after the Tefillah, and they used to read Shnai Mikra HaTargum. They would finish even before Shabbat. But technically, if a person wants to do it on Shabbat, he can do it on Shabbat. He should finish before Mincha Gdolah. There's a wonderful story I read about the power of Tefillah, coming to pray in the minyan. So there was a bunch of soldiers who were in the middle of combat for many, many hours, and time has passed, and they finally felt the firefight was over. They finally found an abandoned house to go and relax, to go and calm down. They're very, very tired, many hours of fighting without sleep. So they said, there were a bunch of religious people in a religious unit. They said, we didn't pray mincha. We have to pray mincha. Let's go get how many guys we have? We had 9. We need asiri. Where's asiri? So they went and they found there was a sniper unit a few hundred yards away. They phoned them in and they told them we need 1 more guy. So 1 guy came over. By the time he came, they had minyan. All of a sudden 1 guy said, I have to go to the bathroom. He went to the bathroom in the nearby house where he felt it was safe. And they're waiting for him. He didn't come. He's asiri. They went looking for him. They opened the door to the bathroom. They saw there was a hole in the tunnel. There's a hole to a tunnel under the bathroom. And they hear his voice. They hear him fighting. They hear him arguing. Arabs took him while he was in the bathroom in the tunnel. So they went and they followed him. They had a firefight and they got their friend back. If they didn't go to pray mincha, they got lazy and they wouldn't pray mincha, they wouldn't look for asiri, they would have no friend. So therefore you see the power of the mincha, the power of the coming to the minyan, how it could save a Jew. Every Jew counts for the minyan, so therefore it saved them to save that last Jew.